Okay. We are welcoming Dr. Boris to our Research and Scholarship Collaborative um, and presentation of what is my topic going to be. And welcome Dr. Boris to our very first RSC presentation. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to go over some of the basic steps we need to take when we get in trouble because not knowing what our topic wants to be, needs to be, may be. So I'm going to go through a few steps that they may benefit you to make a decision and come up with the proper topic. So as you can see, this is my name, and I have PhD in statistics. Of all you won't believe, but there are some people they have it. And what is my topic going to be for? It may be for dissertation, publication in a journal, seminar presentation, assignment in graduate class, or any other research attempt where you need to present something relevant and interesting. During our residency, we also have the session with the posters, and we create a research paper kind of and present it in a nice form so all the attendees can see it. So that also has to have a topic. So some people have put together things that give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I didn't silent my phone before. So, to present something relevant and interesting, of course, you want to see people interested and people come and look and we ask you questions, and you become very, very satisfied with what you did. Types of topic may be invitation to write about conference topic, for example, business sustainability. Or it have published something in that's journal with business sustainability. Now we have invitation every year. Do you have anything that we can publish and you together and blah blah blah. So it may be invitation. That makes things easier because you have your topic to think about, and as you get your literature review, you get start working hard and be able to answer or write the proper topic that's required, given to you as an assignment in the class or your own original interest. From the gap in the literature review, use someone else's research idea and implement it on different or geographical region or business. So I was pretty successful suggesting people to use somebody else's research idea and implement a different sample population. They requested permission from the original author of the study. They gladly give them the permission by only one condition: to share the results of their dissertation with them. That's not a big deal. So that works pretty well. But it may be something that you may consider, because all the dissertation, all different kind of people in the ProQuest, every dissertation done by Keiser University graduates in graduate school is in the ProQuest, and there is a lot more in ProQuest, the dissertations. May you get an idea. It's not cheating, it's not plagiarizing, it's just getting an idea. I want to refresh you what the research methods are. There's qualitative research, quantitative research, and mixed method design research. So do not let the method you like drive you in the topic just because use of that. It may become a time trap. Sometimes qualitative methods look from outside quick and easy, And there is no quick and easy dissertation, to be honest with you. I had one of my graduates, which is doing some uh, business DBA dissertation, and he wanted to do something related to police because he's in police force and stuff like that. But it became a major number crunching and coding and doing the special software that's used to do the qualitative analysis, and it took him a good year to finish his dissertation. While in average, my quantitative dissertation, our quantitative dissertation are finished in 6 to 8 months. So, and I'm just mentioning this so you need to be able to take this in consideration when you're looking at the topic and evaluating if that topic may make sense. In the statement, the qualitative research, it is easy, there is no math. Wrong. We must use scientific approach with all the types of research methods. And scientific approach and qualitative analysis is a lot more demanding than for quantitative analysis. A given research problem or topic from the perspective of the target population is involved. That's a correct statement. That's what the qualitative analysis does. All right, qualitative analysis topic is especially effective in obtaining information about values, opinions, behaviors, and social context of particular populations. Common methods are participant observation, in-depth interviews, focus groups. It's a type of a quantitative research, on the other hand, is a type of research that is explaining phenomena of obtaining numerical data that are analyzed using mathematical based methods, in particular statistics. Common methods are surveys, laboratory experiments, numerical methods such as mathematical modeling, using primary data or secondary data. And that's important in topic selection. If you have if you have access to the secondary data, you may consider doing something with existing data, and you can just put a different tweak on it, and then maybe you can have a great dissertation out something that's existing. Well, there's a FBI has huge database with different things with the criminology and criminal justice, and that is one of the things that we use. We recommend, we teach classes with that because that makes things much easier for them to go to the existing data sets than to have to collect their primary data. Well, there's a difference between qualitative and quantitative methods. General framework, analytical objectives, question format, a data format. See, your question format is closed-ended in surveys and open-ended. I need to mention at this point of time, there is a big help in data collection and data analysis of qualitative uh, research ideas, because we can use a Likert scale to actually convert qualitative data into the quantitative. I call it quantifying, may not be proper terminology, but that's what I call it. So I'm quantifying the qualitative analysis data, and then it becomes so much easier and faster to process it with the qualitative analysis. So that Likert scale is really a big help, but it is once you have your dissertation started. But I just wanted to mention, don't be even if there is a qualitative idea, you may be able to use this quantitative analysis just by making the questionnaire different. Mixed method research is a procedure for collecting, analyzing, and mixing both quantitative and qualitative research and methods in a single study to understand the research problem. It's been successfully used, especially people in health sciences. They have excellent way of using it. Especially we have the impact of the physical activity on the health well-being of the patients. And one of the dissertations recently defended in health sciences department, doctor of health sciences, and that was a great thing because it helps you handle your data unique. I mean, the same way as any other thing you measure. Choose a proper research method. All right, so generally you need to start with purpose of the study, research design, research question and hypothesis, and type of data. Well, if you're choosing the topic, the first and only thing you need to consider is purpose of study. And the purpose of study is uh, purpose of study is the main thing you need to think about it. Why am I doing this? I want to graduate. That's a great purpose of study, but you need to graduate. You need to have a topic. So we're going back in a loop and then finger on the top, the forehead, and what am I going to do? All right. So quantitative scientific process is several steps that we need to be generally standardized, doing as a standardized way. And if we use Likert scale, it may be similar to that. State your hypothesis or research question, collect the data. State your alpha level, statistical significant level, calculate your statistic. Comparing the critical value that defines the limit of rejection, determine whether you accept or reject the null hypothesis. So those are the major 5 steps of scientific process. Well, research design can be descriptive, comparative, correlational, associational, causal, predictive. Design can accommodate many different topic ideas. So don't limit your topic just because you happen to know some comparative analysis technique or correlational analysis technique. So be open minded in topics, and then we'll go work together and we'll figure it out. Research question or hypothesis. Is the research question, business dilemma, something others care about it? That helps you decide on the topic. Is it arguable? Is the research question a new spin or an old idea, or does it solve a problem? Is it too broad or too narrow? I need to go a couple of things here back. I said arguable. Can that dissertation be uh, properly argued? Like, is that a proper is a proper hypothesis? Is this proper way of looking at it? Can we do it from different perspective? So as long as you start dialogue and start a different opinion that people may have it, that is great. And now, is it too broad or too narrow? I'm going to stop here and take a deep breath and tell you. Most of us, at the end of this dissertation courses, we're in a good spirit and we're ready to change the world. And consequently, there are topics they will say, can this and that be change in general in the world? Well, many things can be changed in the world, but not by our dissertations. I have very simple things to share with you. First things first. First, you put your DR in front of your name, and then you change things one at a time. Entire world has many things that need to be changed. So we need to be very very narrow-minded and be selfish and finish our dissertation first. And I'll be here, and many other people, many other faculty are here to help you out. So, if the people are going, there was somebody who was doing, trying to do the job satisfaction in people, and do the work remote. And the originally they said, well, we're gonna have this and huge, and that's gonna tell us in America. No, it's not. Then we ended up having the geographic area in Florida, and it became doable. And when it becomes doable, then you jump on it and you do it. It's months and months of hard work, but it's getting to the end, getting to the close. Is the research question researchable within the given time frame and location? That becomes sometimes issue. because when you try to collect the data, let's assume we need to collect 150 surveys in some sort of well-being in the health science. So we plan to have this sent through the sports, to the gyms, or to the health providers' offices and stuff like that. Or we use some commercial outlets like SurveyMonkey will send out the surveys to particular uh, population that you desire, and then it will give you back what is. It's not going to give you back. You're going to pay some money for it, but you're going to get back either in SPSS format or Excel format. Excel format is acceptable and it's much cheaper. So uh, you need to watch here, even if thinking of the topic. Uh, how much time do you, if you have people they committed, they will the send out the your survey, you send them back, you may do that quickly. There are some instances where our data was collected in a couple weeks because the student organized to be it was um, it was a sample that convenient sampling, so she had the data. She had the participants in particular hospital, and then she just went to different department, collected, gave them the forms. They filled it out. The she picked up next day. So it was very nicely because she was smart to organize it that way, so she get the data quickly. Now, when there is no, when the situation that you're going to be sending by SurveyMonkey is not going to go after your participant to fill out. You may need to be able to reach your population by email and remind them, and not even the gift cards help too much in that because people are so busy that they just forget to answer them. So, in research in southeastern banks in the United States, we send out a 20-page survey, and we paid prepaid envelope in it. And trust me, the gentleman who was head of that the research, Dr. Jerry Sullivan, he knew what the mentality is. If they're not gonna go there, they're not gonna. It's more complicated to buy a stamp in the bank or in any kind of company than to put in the outgoing outgoing mail. So that was a big help and big. We got 40% answers, and this was amazing. It's not, I haven't not heard of. So uh, need to have some of this consideration in mind when you are thinking about the topic and who you're going to include and this and that. And very important with topic we're talking about here, can you formulate the hypothesis? Yes, there used to be some pre-proposals I received to read and suggest something different that were that were not clearly defining the parameters, how long they're going to be, and how many people from all locations and stuff like that. So it becomes an issue, it becomes a problem, and it's not necessarily just monetary problem because you may have to pay SurveyMonkey one more time if you didn't collect all your data in particular time frame. But it is what you need to consider along the topic. So we'll go over this thing. Good research question for quantitative studies. Results in variables that can be operationalized and measured. So we can make it operational and measured. Results in a claim hypothesis can be tested. And they are manageable. Does it advance knowledge by building on previous research and extending research to new topics or questions? Some of these sentences are pretty complex and not nice to read, but Results of the research question. If we ask the question that is completely, totally generalistic, nobody can answer it. But if you ask the question, what was the level of job satisfaction of high school teachers they had to teach on remote online? And you go in and you send out the survey, and the self reported satisfaction you have there, and then you throw them some factors how they evaluate, let's say, transportation, flexibility, childcare, and all of this that helps them like more the remote work. So in that way, you find a way that you can operationalize the satisfaction and measure some of the factors they participate in that level of satisfaction, or keep in mind dissatisfaction, because the results of your research do not have to prove your hypothesis right. You may reject the hypothesis, and you may not find anything there, but you have done through the scientific process, and you defended and your dissertation, and you're a doctor. So it's easier said than done, but I'm not gonna scare you away just because we're not having decided on the topic yet. So uh, well, of course, when you are thinking about the topic, if you understand your topic, and you have can is a result in claim hypothesis that can be tested. So we're saying that working online full time, which is working 30 to 40 hours from home, will be positively give the positive satisfaction. So that's kind of hypothesis, but we can make it through the null hypothesis, not finding any difference, and so research hypothesis that we need to go to if there was a difference. So I'm going over too far because I want you to get a little bit in your background, in your mind, that this topic cannot just be on its own. It's not we can write an essay and then get it done with. And I have some of the people attempted to do that and it didn't work. So are the research question manageable? Can we have the way of asking people about that? We cannot just make something that's completely abstract or so generalistic or stuff like that. Well, we have the gentleman that did finish the dissertation, the doctorate degree, and his topic was how the different genres affect, uh, like help support people helping in the factories. And there was, yeah, well, we can do that. Yes, we can do. And then he went out, collected the data, and he successfully uh, defended. Now, if he was not a musician that knew how to do all of that, that won't be a topic. But he was able to do it because he knows how to handle this stuff. Does it advance knowledge by building on previous research and extending research to new topics or questions? Well, this is a big, 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 big question in literature review. When you go to literature review, you can look for some look for something you may think it's interesting to study, but you don't know how far the knowledge went into and so far. So once you have an idea is not your finalized idea of the topic, you can go and perform a literature review, preventive literature review, so you can get an idea how far the literature covers your topic, your possible topic. And then this is what we need to do. We need to go into the literature review, and we need to take care of the knowledge level, figure out how far did the knowledge go. You may have had contact with these ideas 10 years ago when you were doing undergraduate, and you had a job and you had a project you have done with the same um, topic, I had somebody in health sciences who has done the place of vaping and quitting smoking, and he has done such similar project uh, like 8 years ago in high school or 10 years ago in high school, and then when he compared where did the knowledge go? There, he's a chemist now and doctor of business administration, running the lab at University of Miami Cancer Center. And then what he had found, there's like huge improvement or huge change in the science and knowledge that is driving the vaping. Vaping started very simple with some hocus pocus attempts. Now pharmaceutical company or businesses came in and they hired a lot of pharmaceutical companies and chemists to make the vaping as non toxic as possible and non not hurting people much. So how far they go, I don't follow up anymore, and he's in his own lab work, which he loves to do. So, but this is the comparison. He has started this research like at the very beginning of the vaping, and it was very expensive. Very few people knew about it. Very few people used it. Now you go and every second teenager is vaping on the brakes. Of course, they're hiding because they're not allowed to do that regardless. Anyhow, so there's things, and then there was some problems with the manufacturing, and there were some creating drops of chemical that puncture the lungs, and that was a major lawsuits and stuff like that. So this is what we need to figure out. Yeah, well, I used to do this type of process in, well, let's say quality control in food production. All right, you select every 17 can of tuna, and you take it to the quality control, to the lab, and to the tasters and everything. So if you have started this in the high school or in the undergraduate and masters, it has been 10, 15 years ago you have done it. Oh, I have this ready, I can do it. Oops, I can't because the things are already solved and we have not even considered before 10 years, 12 years ago. So we have a situation that it is it is not advancing knowledge now by building on previous research and extending research. So in this case, if we started the process of the quality control of the food 15 years ago, we need to catch up by going to the literature review. And some people experimented pretty successfully also artificial intelligence inquiry to the literature review, defining the gap, and that was interesting. And I'm not at freedom to recommend that because I haven't tried myself yet, but I believe that you can use because AI I consider it like a turbocharged research. I mean, uh, research tool that they go to different websites and different archives all over the world and everybody else's clouds and all of that, and then you may be able to just think with your topic, maybe just we got this far, what can we do this, and if nobody tested that new thing you want to do in the quality control, and that's perfect, then you got your topic. So data that we face and then generally in all the entire walks of life are nominal, categorical. It's a name of color of car and type of car. Ordinal rankings, yeah, my university was first, second, third. Interval with scale, that is, the interval is from to, and ratio, right, real numbers and measurements. So those are they call it scales or they call it the measurement types. But this is to keep in mind if you come up with a topic and say, "Oh, can I use any one of numbers to represent it?" Or I already know I only have names of these things. And if, for example, you're trying to do something in quality control in assembly line in the mechanical engineering area, You are not going to do too well with just nominal data, because nominal data there's gazillions of stuff. I was helping avionics friend who had the avionics store. I mean store and repair shop, and we were creating a website database which had everything that goes in the airplane has to go through the rigor of where was it made, what number, serial number, what whatever that part of the assembly line, the production line. So every single little detail has to be there. If you're not going to say that uh, middle seat um, tight for the seat belt. No, you have to have a number that will screen it, and get it in no time. But they need to write everything down in the work orders before they go to install. So these are the ideas that you may want to contemplate before you go any further in the data analysis. So generally have analysis in statistics are descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Descriptive statistic is just giving the status that is as of today, and all the numbers, and describe all the population, all the variables, all the participants, and everything. Now, inferential statistics is something that we look for to learn from the trend lines. For example, we calculate based on the pre-existing data, historical data, and that gives us some sort of ability to predict what to expect in the next month or 5 or 6 months. So inferential statistics is something that we infer things from existing data and existing procedures we have. Well, statistical test. This is just an illustration. If we have two or more groups, parametric test will be t-test comparing two different variables, or ANOVA, analysis of variance, or non-parametric. I'll give you a little hint about non-parametric and parametric. It's chi-square and Kruskal-Wallis procedure using the same non-parametric analysis. What are the parametric and non-parametric analysis? It's way too early to talk. Think about it while you are deciding how to define my topic. So, uh, parametric analysis is based on the probability that certain things will happen, and it's also mostly involved in normal bell-shaped curve that gives us those probabilities. So a t-test or a ANOVA are using the probabilities from the existing normal distribution to judge if there are differences between two variables. If there is a difference between this given the value and the variable we calculate. So in chi-square and classical Wallace is a completely different story. This is used quite a bit in marketing and sometimes in sports selection and stuff. Uh, the basic values that we have is frequency of modalities. So if you have three cans of bottle, different shape of bottles, and you bring 120 people uh, to judge on the which one is the best, theoretically in theory, you expect 40 to be for the first one, 40, and 40 is 120 participants are there to judge the shape. However, that doesn't work that way in the life. Somebody may like the shape number two a lot more. So we may have a 30 and 60 in the model number two. And that will give us the power to look at some special distribution that will give us some number, and that number, if that number is out of the interval that we are looking for, like 95%, then we'll have the statistical significance of 0.05, showing us there's enough statistical evidence that one modality, one shape of Coke that design was better or more accepted by The perception is that more people accepted a module number two. So that's how things are. But you don't have to worry this that much at the very beginning. But you may keep in mind that is that numerical data, yes, or if they're not numerical data, can I make them in the Likert scale? Most likely you can, but I cannot prove that because sometimes I have sometimes the existing research done or data collected they present to me are just numerical values. So non-numerical values, so just descriptive, like text. So then I need to go to non-parametric analysis. If everything fails, and it sometimes it does, and you have no idea what to do as a research study, no topic, you don't know what to do. Well, there is a hope for everyone, and you're gonna laugh at this. You may laugh at this, but you know, get an empty notebook and a number two HB sharpened pencil with a razor. Keep in mind, the razor is very important. That this is the HB2. Yep, the HB2 with the eraser. So I still use it, and I still have sharpened the 4 or 5 of them, and I have the automatic one also. So start taking notes about your interest and passion and everything else that may interest you during the week. Now, at the end of the week, review the notes at the beginning of every new week. By only putting the finger at your forehead does not help much. Why I'm saying this? If you erased all but one note, it may be a sign of the new opportunity. Keep collecting more notes about what you may be curious about and review every 2 to 3 weeks. Think about starting the brief literature review about few topics. Because when you say, well, I'm interested to see how are the service times in the lines in the Costco gas station, which has 7, 8 lines. I said, well, that may be an interesting operation research study. And if you are good with math, you want to do it, you do it. And then what you need to do, you need to go and talk to the mathematicians or statisticians and figure out what do I need to collect. Well, you need to collect you need to be able to calculate, or maybe they maybe give you the information of it, the time the cars come and leave, how much time does it need to service the car, and you can go from there and then go and elaborate it and then come up and propose the pre-proposal. And then if the pre-proposal is not solving the world problem and not completely out of the whack, so you want to do cleaning at the gas station, you just want to see the times and to figure out, and then how many cars come in each of the lines. Well, does it matter if it's the first to the left or first to the right, etc., etc.? So that is just an example. So that may be you may say, well, this looks interesting, and maybe it's a doable. Let me start the brief literature review. So just go to the weighing lines or Markov chains, and then you can look at it, or you can say service time at the gas station, then look for look for the term. I suggest people they want to do the brief literature review, start with the Google Scholar first. In Google Scholar, you can get some of the keywords that you may go and get in the ProQuest or some serious reference databases provided by online library of Keiser University or Everglades University, or most of the university have an online reference databases in their library collection. So going back to that, you want to define the keywords. Well, go with the simple thing. Now, with existing artificial intelligence, you can say, how can I define service time for the car that puts the gas in the tank? and they will give you like several paragraphs, several keywords, and I've done that recently. They give me some sort of a research, proposal ideas, or actually keywords ideas of how can I go in and look at the different databases that can help me. All right, any question at this point of time? Look at one idea at a time. Do not rush and go for a topic that may look easy to complete based on your love for one of the research methods. That could be a time trap. We have tools for almost any topic in the real world that is outside medical or physics lab. Even if you have this looks like it's qualitative. I need to write the names of everything, not necessarily. You can use the Likert scale if it's not like identifying the code type of the car. That doesn't help. It can be numeric, but it cannot do anything. You cannot calculate anything. You don't have average code of the type of the car. No, you can do certain things in the people in expressing their perception of they like things, do they prefer number one, number two, or number three, and so things like that. And you can actually do the uh, you can actually record all the perceptions of people had with Likert scale. It may be time for pre-proposal. Your mentor will help with it. Short synopsis of research. We originally started pre-proposal. We proposed to be more than 5 pages. You will be surprised that I received 35, 40, 60 pages pre-proposal. I said, this is pre-proposal. It's a short summary of what you want to do. But people, but they get probably excited. They figure out what their topic is going to be, and they want to throw all the guts they have in the paper and then discuss and all of that. So, uh, I, Dr. Boris, or any other faculty member will be glad to look at your draft informally, and I say no more than 5 pages. I'm not going to read more than 5 pages, and help you make a decision if you are on the right track. This is my email and this is my phone number. You can text me, you can call me, and you can email me at any time you need anything. And I will be glad to help you to go over the draft of topic and or pre-proposal. Even though when you start doing pre-proposal, you will have your dissertation classes on, and you will have committee almost formed, if not just a mentor, and you have people that you can work with. And that's pretty much it. I have a question and answer time. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to entertain them. If not, I thank you very much for time you spent with us today, and I will see you next session probably. Thank you very much. Bye bye.